The NFL is under intense scrutiny after what some fans are calling the worst Super Bowl ever. Let's talk about it. We seen the great game. Both sides played an exceptional game, but let's talk about the flaws. These are some day one errors that happened during Super Bowl 58. We saw mic issues, technological issues. We saw a terrible field. Players were slipping, switching cleats, and I'm going to show you some visuals as we get further into the video, but Jalen Hurts, a lot of guys on that Eagles team switched their cleats going into the second half after the start of the game. Let's talk about the officiating. We talk about the controversial holding call and how could you on the biggest stage of the season fail? And it's tough to say failure because at the end of the day, the NFL's goal is to entertain and play football. I think both of those things were carried out well. I was entertained. It was a good football game, but these are some of the day one install flaws that you can't have on your team. Like I said, I talk about the mic issues. Mics were going in and out, and we heard that on the television broadcast. We saw players slipping. We saw the kickers. And let's just throw all of this out. Let's throw the entertainment out. Let's throw our opinions out of this thing. Let's think about the players. These players are playing their hearts out, playing as hard as they can because they want to win a Super Bowl, because they want to bring a ring back to their city, back to their family, back to their team. But we're playing on the field. I'm slipping. I'm sliding. I'm stepping in holes. What about my ankle? What about my ACL? What about the player's safety? And I think that's the biggest, most important thing out of all of this. We think about pass rush. How can guys rush the passer? Even the kickers. We saw Jake Elliott on a kickoff slip. This is very dangerous from a player's perspective. And I would understand if it were just a odd, terrible coincidence, an odd, terrible incident, but it wasn't that. When teams played at the same field in week 1 in Arizona, they had complaints. They talked about this field. They said it's not safe. It's slippery. There's holes in this field. It's damaged. It's not good to play on. But yet, on the biggest stage in the biggest season, this is what we get. This is how we do our players. That's the first flaw. Let's talk about the second flaw. Some of the mic issues, some of the technological issues. This is $1 million, billion-dollar product that we putting on TV in the Super Bowl, and we're having mic issues. I'm watching the game, and mics are going out. I'm understanding what's going on with that. How is that happening? So that's one thing to have. And then on top of it all, officiating. I'm not in the boat of guys who don't agree with the last call. I like the holding call. It's tough that it happened in that part of the game, but it was the right call. I'm going to show you the clip. Let's look at it. We're talking about this right hand tug. I'm not talking about the left hand tug when he's releasing up the field. I'm talking about the right hand tug that's delaying his route, throwing off the timing. And Patrick Mahomes is throwing that ball with anticipation based on his pre-snap read to that coverage. But he can't get the ball there because there's a hole with the right hand by James Bradbury. We see the tug right there. And that is what, caused the holding call. So like I said, it wasn't a bad call. It was a tough moment for fans, for everybody who wants to be entertained. It sucks. It really does. There's no other way around it. But I think it's just the consistency. This is what some people are frustrated with. Third down, a big third down when the Chiefs were reeling, when the Eagles had all the momentum, Juju Smith-Schuster against Bradbury, he didn't get that holding call. He didn't get that pass interference call, whatever you want to call it. He didn't get it. And he was jumping and frustrated and all of that. So now he gets the call late in the fourth quarter, 35-35. Eagles got a chance to get the ball back if they get this third down stop. Jalen Hurts has a crack to win the game. He doesn't get to go do that because the refs decided this game. They did, and I wouldn't say that the Chiefs won because of the refs. And that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the refs decided this game by that crucial clutch decision. We look at things that happened earlier, like third down, false start by Isaac Seumalo, Jalen Hurts fumble. We talk about that. That's not on the refs. That isn't why the refs, that doesn't have nothing to do with any of that. But those are the type of plays that lose you the football game. Not getting a stop in the second half is what loses you the football game. Going for it on third and fourth down, but not being able to put points on the board in the second half is what loses you the game. You scored one time, you got another field goal. So it's frustrating. I just say in $1 billion product, $1 million product, how does the Super Bowl let this one slip? How does it happen like this? I mean, on national TV, and I'm thinking for Super Bowl 59, there has to be execs in that room. There has to be somebody coming in saying, guys, this product was not good enough. This field was not good enough. This technology failed us. Our officiating has to be consistent. I need to hear all of those things in that room as we head into the next Super Bowl. But overall, it was a great game. Like I said, I was entertained. Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes, I would love to see a rematch under different conditions, but I would love to see a rematch. I'm gonna break down this game tomorrow in my rolling the tape. We know how that go. But just talking about today, this wasn't a top tier product by the NFL.